Very good.
You have, you should have access to do that.
Yep, got it. It's not anything to write home about, but.
Yeah, I know better than that.
No, it's not. It's been a crazy busy time.
Welcome, everybody. It's our third PRSSA meeting of the year. I'm excited for everybody to be here. We're going to go a little bit out of order tonight. Our speaker has something else to do after she's done sharing all of her insight and knowledge with us. So we're going to let her go first, and then we'll do our normal announcements and breakout rooms after that. But our speaker tonight is Felicia Blow from Hampton University. She's also the PRSA chair-elect for PRSA National. So we will hand it over to her without further ado.
All right, thank you. I want to say a huge thank you to Carly, who handheld me. I'm looking around for wherever Carly is.
Yes, thanks.
I appreciate you. And I also want to beg your indulgence. I'm sharing my screen now. I am in Virginia, and that means the time is now 8 p.m. And unfortunately, I have a conflict at the bottom of the half hour. So it's not that I want to go away. We just got our timing a little bit fouled up. So please forgive me. But I'm going to blow through just these brief slides. And the slides respond to what was shared with me in terms of what the conversation would entail tonight. So what is my background? What are my experiences? What's been my work with PRSA over the years? And what advice do I want to share? Those essentially are the key buckets that I've been asked to speak to. Stephen, others, if there's something else, just wave your hand and I'll be happy to go there. So I will start first with my experiences. Stephen pointed out that I am, trying to move this around, at Hampton University. The beauty part of being at Hampton University is I'm also a graduate of Hampton University, and it was way back in the dark ages. Hampton, let me tell you a little bit about Hampton, is a prominent historically Black college or university. So we got our start back in 1868. And does anyone know the name Booker T. Washington? I hope you do. I pray you do, my God. So Booker T. Washington is one of our most famous graduates. Hampton is truly an historical institution, not just because of Booker T., even though he is a big part of it. It's just the essence of the institution. HBCUs, if you've never heard of them, there are about 101 remaining in the US today. And Hampton, that list of 101 is a top 5 HBCU. Now, granted, all HBCUs are great, but I would suggest to you that Hampton is a pretty special institution. I got my master's from Strayer University, and I am in my Chapter 4 and Chapter 5 of my dissertation. Thank you so much, God. But getting this PhD has been one of the hardest things I've ever done. And that's going to be one of the bits of advice I share when we get to the close. But I think pursuit of education helps so much in building your character, building your understanding of the world around you. And if you can, I'm presuming you all are going to go on to your master's degrees, but if you have the wherewithal and you have a plan for your life that the PhD will fit into, I greatly encourage it. Oops. So this is me. That's a great picture. I love using it. I just want to thank the photographer so much. But I like putting award-winning, and it's not me, the award winner. I've won so many awards for the organizations for which I've worked. So I have a good deal of institutional and organizational experience. Pritch, you may not know about this about me, and you all probably know I served on the National Board of Directors of Pritch. Professor Pritchard, I'm not sure what y'all call him.
Pritch is good. Pritch is great.
So I worked at Caterpillar. If you all are in the Midwest or out, you all know Caterpillar. A lot of folks don't know Caterpillar. Caterpillar is a earth moving equipment company. So if you see these big excavators, these big wheeled machines that are going into mines and rock quarries, that's what I did when I first graduated college. Then I moved into an equally sexy profession, waste management. And so I say this because when I was going into these industries, people are saying, how much money you make? How much money you make? And these are not the industries that I thought I would ever go into when I graduated college. I thought I would go into TV, that I would be in broadcasting, that I would be using my mass media arts degree. But I think this was that when I graduated in 1988, it was at the cusp of when things were changing. Then I went into telecom, Cox Communications. I'm not sure what you all have in Oklahoma. Is it CenturyLink? There?
Cox is here.
Cox is, okay, awesome. So Cox is a major cable company. And I'll tell you a little bit about that and how those experiences shaped me. But it's what's happened in the last few years. I'm gonna move this around again. I probably can minimize it, yes. All this higher education stuff. I didn't see this for myself. I didn't predict this would happen. So I left Cox. I was the board chair for Paul DeCamp Community College, and I moved from being board chair into the VP role because I just said, you know what? I love this institution. I've been on the board for years. This is within my skill set to be the VP of IA, so it was a great pivot. Paul DeCamp happens to be the third smallest community college in Virginia. After I left Paul DeCamp, I went to Tidewater Community College. Tidewater Community College is the 11th largest community college in the United States. So it was quite a transition, but it was still really good and it was capable. It showed you what a good education and preparedness will get you ready for, set you up for success. Then I moved into 4-year higher education. Pretty phenomenal. And particularly at a school like Hampton. So my official title is Associate Vice President for Development, and I also am campaign director for our $150 million campaign. So when you hear $150 million, it kind of is scary. And quite frankly, and the phone's ringing off the hook, I'm at home, I'm so sorry, forgive the folks who won't answer the phone here, but it's not as scary as it seems when you have a really good product to market. In terms of PRSA, I've been active in PRSA for probably 30 years, maybe a little more. On the board for 2 different stints, at the local chapter level as a president, the district level as chair. I'm currently co-chair of the National Diversity and Inclusion Committee. I've also served as chair of the National Accreditation Board. It's definitely fair to say I've drunk the Kool-Aid on PRSA. And I didn't do it just because I wanted to be an officer. I really, really love this organization. There's no way you can be doing what you're doing or Pritch can do what he does if you don't have a huge affinity for what you're doing. So here are a few thoughts to consider. And I think I'm gonna make sure, Stephen, you get this, but I'm gonna stop the share so we can see one another now. This conversation is intended to be around advice, and I'm watching my time. Stephen, how much time you wanna give me to go all to 8:25 or?
Yeah, that would work. And then we have time for a little bit of questions.
Okay. And I blew through those slides because I did want to make more time for questions. I talked about education. And this is me not having a script at this point, because I have some of you at home. What I mean by that is I have a son who's 19, who's at Hampton, and I have a daughter who graduated last year, and she graduated from my Scripps Howard School of Journalism and Communications. So I kind of relate to you all, but not peer to peer, more me telling you the things now that I would tell my daughter or my son. So I'll start with higher education. Get involved. And what I'm going to do is put this in gallery view. There. Get involved in your chapter. The more you put in, the more you're going to get out. What do I mean by that? I have learned some of my best lessons in what's called a baptism by fire, meaning I didn't know what I was doing, had never done it before, and I was uncomfortable. APR is one of those examples. None of you are in this circumstance, but I was, I was 4 months pregnant when I started my APR journey. And when I got APR is accredited in public relations. And I think what you all are looking at now is CPR, or there are some credentials that are opportunities that you can take advantage of now. But by the time I finished the class and was, pinned, the president, I was full blown ready to give birth. And my president of the chapter says, Felicia, I'm gonna give you the pin because I have no idea where to put this. But what that says to you, and what it said to me, was you gotta persevere sometimes. Even when it's hard, even when the going is not quite as what you'd like, pursue excellence. And just know this is a debate we're having now around the APR. APR doesn't mean that I'm better than somebody who doesn't have the APR, okay? It doesn't mean that I am, all that in a bag of chips, even if is that even still a phrase. But what it means is I have made a personal decision to develop myself professionally. That's what that means. And that's what people are looking at when they look at a resume from you. What types of organizations were you part of? Were you a leader in those organizations? What kinds of activities did you participate in? Were you on the debate team? Were you part of the Student Government Association? Did you do any community and charity work that shows your depth and breadth? So that's about engagement, getting involved. Education. So it is hard getting advanced degrees. When I graduated college, I didn't have any money. I had to put myself through school. My folks just flat out couldn't afford to send me. I'm a first generation college graduate. My sister and I are the first two college graduates in my family. And on my father's side, God rest his soul, there were 6 brothers and 2 sisters. On my mother's side, there were 12 kids. So all those folks had grandkids, but my sister and I were the first 2 college graduates. So I paid my own rent. I didn't stay on campus. I had a part-time job. I lived off beanie weenies and popcorn and oodles and noodles a lot. And when I graduated, I wanted to go to get my master's degree. I couldn't. I needed a job. So my kids are in a different circumstance though. And they honestly don't know how blessed they are. I would have given my eye teeth to be able to stay in school another year or year and a half. So if you can, if your folks, your family has a wherewithal, do it. Because you don't want to get to be grown like me and with kids and trying to go back and get your master's and your PhD. You can do it. Yes, you can. It's harder. It's harder. Don't set yourself up though with a life plan. I'm going to get this in 2 years, and then I'm going to be a that, and then I'm going to be a this, and then I'm going to be a that. You just never know what will come your way. But luck, have you heard the phrase, luck happens to those who prepare for it? So just get your act in order. I was very careful. I used a lot of careful enunciation, but prepare yourself for the opportunities that are going to come your way. And I believe in education. I'm a proponent of education. Even if I did not work in higher education, I would say to you, at minimum, get your master's, please. Even if you say I can only take 1 or 2 classes at a time, do it. It will pay off for you. You've heard the statistics about the, oh no, I'm sorry, it looks like I'm having some kind of technical issue. Am I still here? Okay, good. You've seen the statistics on your purchasing power, your financial, projections based on a 4-year degree. It goes up commensurately. When you get a master's, it goes up. When you get a PhD, it goes up. But more than that, it expands your mind. And I want to now pivot to this D&I space. So your generation is one of the most diverse groups of young people this country has ever seen, right? And that is a wonderful and powerful thing. And it is so, inspiring when I see young people and how you all are able to navigate the multitude of differences so elegantly and so gracefully with less difficulty than those of us that are a little bit older, right? So what that means is this: embrace the fact that you are open to differences. Our differences make us stronger. And lean in to learning about different cultures, about different races, about different religions, about different sexual orientations, about different geographies, about different parts of the world. Appreciate others' languages. It will make you a better citizen of the world. It will make you a better potential employee and future employer, because you can engage and work with others in a different way. It's not forced. So when I see my daughter and my son as an example, the LGBTQ plus movement, it is just not a thing. I think every other of my daughter's friends are going through a moment. Well, she's dating girls now. No, she's back to dating boys now. It's just this fluidity that I just, like, what? But that's the norm. And isn't that a beautiful thing? And the fact that I'm saying this to you, I'm letting you give a peek into, it's difficult for folks my age. Look at what's going on in America right now. So you all have to save us from ourselves. You all have to be the change that we need to see. In 10 years, the last thing I hope you all are talking about is race and this against that and the other. There's so many bigger things. The final thing I'm going to say to you has to do is a little bit of a, what's the word I'm looking for? It's a little bit of an infomercial, I'll be honest. But here's the thing. As Stephen shared in the introduction, I'm the nominee. Prayerfully, things go the way I hope they go in December, but I'm the nominee to be the next chair-elect of PRSA, which means in another year, I'll move into the chair seat. The weight of that does not fall lightly on me, because I love this organization, and something you love, you want to do your part to keep it going in a robust way. We are losing you guys though. When we talk about a pipeline, and Pritch, I'm not sure how much you all have gotten into this, but I believe PRSA will make you a better practitioner, a better agency exec, if that's what you want to be, a better book writer, a better publicist, whatever you want to, field you want to pursue. But we have all these members in PRSSA. When you graduate, the PRSA conversion is not happening. So one of the things that I want to find out is why is that happening? I don't think it's all about money. Because if I know you young people, y'all pay for what you want. You find a way to pay for what you'd like to have, those shoes, that purse. And so it's something else going on in that value proposition. And I kind of go back to what I said earlier. You are the future. You are the key to a more inclusive, a more diverse, a more exciting future, not just in the world, but definitely in PRSA. So if you are not there, we don't have the future that we know we have the capability of having. So I have talked for about 20 minutes, which is normally my cap, and I don't want to go any longer. So my desire, Stephen, at this point would be to open the floor for questions if we can.
Yeah, we can definitely do that. You guys can either unmute yourselves and ask a question you have it, or throw it in the chat and one of us can read it out for you. Either way works. I'll start out just to get things going, but you talked about how one of your kids just graduated, and a lot of us here tonight are seniors. What is one thing you would have told your kids before they graduated, or that you would tell seniors getting ready to move into the job market or move into grad school? What is that one key piece of advice that you would give?
Internships. You must have work experience. GPA is great. And if I had my daughter, to tell my daughter again, I would tell her to get that GPA a little bit up. She graduated with a 2.99, and she wouldn't be mad at me for saying that to you, but my daughter had some health issues. And quite frankly, I'm really exceedingly proud of her that she was able to get through, what she was with the issues she had going on. But the thing that I hear from employers, and I talk to a ton of them, because they recruit from Hampton like you wouldn't believe, as they do there, I'm sure. But they are looking for part-time jobs, shows you can keep a job, and then internship experience, even if it's unpaid, every summer, over the holidays. What did you do when you were there? That to me is one of the biggest things. Find a way to get some work experience so that you can differentiate yourself and not just say, okay, I went to class and I got all A's and B's and I really did good on my capstone, take me. Yeah.
Okay, we have a question from Lauren. She said, as a freshman, what is the best advice you have for students who want to consistently network as they grow through PRSSA and into PRSA?
So, you're networking. That's one big thing. The other thing is your advisor. Leverage your advisor or advisors as best as possible. Take on a role in PRSSA. Not just, I won't say just a member, but add to your membership so that you get that kind of experience. Pritch, do you all have a student-run PR agency?
We do. Lindsay and Asp.
Excellent, excellent. Be part of that agency. Help in specific roles. The networking that you want is, working with your peers, your colleagues, your student friends, great. But if there's a way that you can use your PRSSA relationships around the country, when Victoria was at Hampton, that's what she did. We were in Austin and she picked up friends, that's my daughter's name, by the way, that she would never have gained otherwise. So that's a form of networking. And what it does is exposes you to different markets. So you can assess, this is what Jane says about San Diego. This is what Alan says about Chicago. The other thing is your career center. Fall in love with the career center on the website. Go there often. The career center staff. I lived in the career center when I was at Hampton. That's when you had to physically go someplace. Now everything's online. So that's the advice I would give you around make your PRSSA experience valuable. Work with your advisor and network with your peers across the country.
Another question from, Rachel had a note on the Career Center. Joe Daves is our new career advisor for PR. He took over for Melanie Adams, but he has been great. Good reviews from everybody that's gone and visited him.
Good.
And then another question we had from Grace said, you talked about getting a master's degree. Would you say it's more beneficial to continue on in PR or branch out into other subjects?
Well, for me, I wanted an MBA because I had a sense that I would be going into a business field. I did have a really good friend years ago say to me, if you get your degree in X, try to diversify and get your master's in Y. And I won't say what those disciplines were, but there's a little bit of a caveat. Say you want to be a Pritch, but even today you may want to diversify, but you really are just sold out on, I want to be a communications professor. I want to work in higher education. I'm going to get my PhD. Then maybe you march yourself along that path. But I personally believe diversification is very important to making you a better, well-rounded representative.
Would you say that like having your initial degree from a HBCU helped you like stand out, or would you say that that was like just another university?
Thank you, Carly, for that. I really appreciate it. I made a decision when I graduated from my high school that I was going to an HBCU. I went to a predominantly majority community high school, and I wanted to go be around some Black folks. That's just bottom line. And Hampton was one of the top HBCUs in the country. I looked at Howard and Hampton won out because I'm from Virginia. But after I got my undergraduate degree from Hampton, I said I was going to go to a PWI, predominantly white institution. That's what PWI stands for. So I did. I made a choice that I was going to go to HBCUs. And quite frankly, Carly, what's happening now with the racial unrest and with things that are going on in the world, there is a huge uptick in enrollment at HBCUs by minority students. Today, because I'm working on my PhD and I've done a lot of the research, approximately 1/3 of all African Americans who go to college go to an HBCU. There are about 4,300 institutions, PWIs nationwide, 4,300. There are 101 HBCUs. So what does that tell you? They are very important institutions in the Black community.
I grew up really close to Jarvis, very, very close. So I grew up, getting to know and talk to a lot of HBCU students, and it's just really cool to see someone in my field. So thank you.
Thank you. Well, I know you guys have a lot to do. A couple more questions because it's 8:30 and I don't know what your meeting entails, but I don't want to eat it all up.
I know you have to go. We have one more question in the chat from Kyle. And Kyle said, what would you say would be the best way to obtain internship opportunities when you don't have any internship experience?
Oh,
I understand bigger companies require previous internship experience.
okay. So Kyle, here's what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to get that wonderful career center advisor person to connect you with some alum that work at these institutions. If you connect with the alum, they are going to get you in the door. Make sure that you're sharp. Make sure that you are a good case that they can present. But, and you're going to have to spread your net wide because you're not going to get every internship. But I'm going to tell you something. You go through alum will beat the doors down to get other students in their institutions, in their company, because they want you to go there. They want you to come work there. So do that. Don't get discouraged. They know that you're college students. The other thing I'm going to say to you is this: if there are any non-traditional students among you, also don't be discouraged, because employers also are looking for that experience, that maturity, and the capability to handle very diverse work environments where you may be remote, you may have to come in, you may have to travel, you know, you may have loose supervision. So yeah, you work that alumni network, work it, go on LinkedIn and look at the companies that you want to go to, and then search for the Oklahoma, and see if what pops up. And then it's something about alumni loving young people. They just want to mentor you so badly. So take advantage of it. And I would love to hear how that goes. So Pritch, make sure he lets me know how that goes. I think that's going to get you in, buddy. I really do.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. This has been a blast. You always think, oh my God, how am I going to do this? But this actually worked out really well. So I really appreciate it. And thank you all. Okay. And again, thank you, Carly.
It was so nice talking to you. Thank you so much for taking the time and talking to us. We really appreciate it.
All right. And good to see you, Pritch. Bye-bye.
Love you, Felicia.
Well, I hope everybody enjoyed what Felicia had to say. Rachel, Orland, if we want to go straight into breakout rooms, we can do that. And exec members, why don't we talk about, we'll do our normal, you get to know everybody, but why don't we talk about your favorite parts of Felicia's presentation for one of our questions.
All right, sounds good. I'm gonna throw everyone into a breakout room now. So have fun, guys.
Let's get this recording started again. And then I'm gonna share my screen.
Rachel, I still need tutoring on the breakout rooms.
Anytime. We will definitely figure that out. Zoom can do so much. It's incredible, really.
You guys missed my fun GIF, but
Where'd you get that?
I found on Giphy.
I love it. That's awesome.
The dedication is immaculate. I love to see it.
Thank you. I'll continue to put in all the hard work on my GIF game. Logan, do you want to talk about DEI?
Yeah, so the Office of Diversity, Equity, Inclusion is having 2 events next week. On Tuesday, they're having a webinar on unlearning classism. It's part of their Diversity Ally Unlearning series. And then the next day, Wednesday, they're going to have a webinar on voting rights in the election process. And I thought that'd really be a good learning opportunity to push, given that, elections are coming up. So if you're interested in those, you can go to ou.edu/diversity inclusion, click the news and events tab, and then calendar tab, and you can sign up for those.
Awesome, thank you. And Jacob.
All right, y'all. It's due times again. So $60 until October 13th, $75 if you want the t-shirt. Once I get your name into the PRSA system, I'll contact you about delivering your shirt. Venmo, OU, PRSSA, or if you're by check, email me. And scan this for the dues form. And if you are on a committee, make sure that you pay your dues.
Thank you. Guys, it's a really good opportunity with that discounted price until October 13th. It's discounted 25% from what it would normally be, and the price is going to go up after that to $75 total without the t-shirt. So really get on that now, and that covers you for an entire calendar year, 365 days, and get you access to all of the national resources. And it also, as we'll talk about in just a minute, gets you access to the discounted price for Icon. Tag teaming with me here, Rachel and Pritch. If I miss anything, but virtual Icon, as we talked about, it's going to be October 26th through 29th. That's a Monday through Thursday. Pritch, if you guys do want to attend, Pritch will get us excuses to get out of class so that we can attend all day. This is not going to be just your normal sit on Zoom and watch speakers. There's going to be interactions throughout. You're going to have one-on-one networking opportunities. There's going to be fun sessions, interactive sessions. There's going to be meet and greets with other PRSSA members as well as PRSA professionals. And it's only $159 for full access if you paid your dues prior to registering. Without that, or for the PRSA members, it's going to cost almost $900. So you're getting a massive discount if you take advantage of this opportunity.
And I just dropped the link to a preview of our platform in the chat. So definitely go check that out because it's really cool. Like I really haven't seen anything like it. And we had like a little test run with something similar a couple weeks ago, and it was really cool. And we had really awesome feedback. Like it worked really well and was really awesome. So we're excited about it. Yeah.
Hey, Rachel, would you share that information with Callie Landry and the agency as we look to do top jobs virtually, please?
Yes, I did. I already talked to her about it, actually.
Oh, awesome. Thank you. You're way ahead of me, as always.
Yes. I'd love to see everyone there. And if you take like pictures or anything, let me know and we can maybe get that featured too on social media. So.
As in they just dropped the full schedule. I believe it was on Friday that they dropped the entire schedule for Icon. You can scan this QR code here, or you can Google PRSA Icon 2020 schedule and you'll be able to find it really easily that way. But there's a lot of exciting things on that schedule. And if you guys have questions about registering or questions about what it's going to look like, please feel free to reach out to anybody on exec or Rachel, and we can get those questions answered. And if we don't have the answer, we'll get a quick answer to you about that. But we're really excited for this opportunity. And then Felicia already spoke. And that's all that we had for this evening. Natalie, if you'll drop the attendance link, if you already haven't, everybody just take a few seconds to fill out the attendance form for us, just so we can keep tabs on who's here and get you added to the email list if you're already not on it.
And I really want to thank y'all for joining us. This is a new world, and maintaining the chapter on virtual. The leadership has done a great job. I noticed tonight we had as many members online as we've had typically for a meeting in person tonight. So thank you all very much for joining us.
What Pritch said, guys, thank you for coming out. It really means a lot. We've been putting in a lot of work to get these going. Carly's done a great job with our speakers. We have a really fantastic lineup for the rest of the semester. and we're going to continue that into next semester as well. But thank you all. Please, again, if you guys have any questions, whether it's about Icon, whether it's about dues, t-shirts, DEI things, whatever it is, feel free to reach out to any of us. You can email ouprssa@gmail.com. You can DM us on any of the social media platforms. You can call, text, email any of the exec members. Please don't hesitate to reach out. We love hearing from you guys. We love hearing your feedback about what we can do better, about what you guys liked, what you didn't like. So please let us know what you guys think and what you guys think about the new virtual PRSSA.
Hey, I want y'all to know, I'm going out on a limb here, but I want y'all to know that we are the first PRSSA chapter that the chair-elect of PRSA has addressed. Good on you guys.
Well, again, thanks everybody, and we hope to see you back in 2 weeks from today at 7 o'clock for our meeting, and we'll get this.
Steven, look at the chat. Maybe we could send the link for the group meet in our next email.
Yeah, I can send it out in the follow-up email. So if nobody's in it, I'll send that out afterwards.
Yes, everybody join the group meet. If you're not already in it, we send out important reminders in there, and we can just chat and get to know each other in there as well. But thank you guys. See everybody in 2 weeks if we don't hear from you before then. Thanks, Dean Kelly, for being on here once again.
Great night, guys.
Okay, stay safe, y'all.
Have a good one, guys. Stay safe.
All right.